Greetings, humans. I'm Andy.
And I'm George.
And welcome back to the Windmill full of corpses.
We've done two stuff from Levy.
Yes.
Atlantica and Imora.
Yes.
People are saying we did the bad version of Imora and we should do another one. We might. But for now, the most requested thing left from the Ancient Gods and David Levy is the Trial of Maligog. Now, Maligog sounds potentially like Aragog from Harry Potter, only I imagine Maligog will be worse.
Yes.
Because I think the thumbnail had like a mountain-sized monster on it, so I'm guessing by the title and the thumbnail, this is another sort of boss battle soundtrack, and I love those!
Yeah, boss battle soundtracks are the best. Okay, what I want to say is, what you said about we did the wrong version of Imora, there's only one reason for that.
What?
It wasn't the comma game rip. Let's always go for the comma game rip when there are versions.
Yes.
Speaking of which, we should do the comma game rip of Imora at some point.
You know, people are already annoyed in the comments because we're teasing with redoing Blood Swamps. If we start teasing with doing Imora too, we're gonna drive someone nuts.
That's just
so we should
think we're teasing. What we're actually doing is saying we should do it, and then not doing it.
That's teasing! You know who we learned this from?
Yari.
From Winter Sun?
Yes.
I was actually referring to Mick Gordon, but that works too.
Well,
for background check, Yari Mayampa from Winter Sun is announcing an album for 9 years now.
Okay, just to make the difference, they're both teasing, but Mick Gordon is teasing about when he's gonna do something, and Yari is teasing about whether he's gonna do it.
Yeah!
So, are you ready?
No! okay, dude, this is so cool. It's so expressive. It's so cinematic. The stuff in the intro, sort of percussive effects, that sounded like helicopter propellers. That could have been the soundtrack to some army deployment.
Yeah, definitely. I get what you're saying. I wouldn't have thought army deployment though, but I just kind of like the whole, I guess, epic, ominous, almost kind of imperial kind of tone to it, as there's this big looming thing emerging, and like, well, that big looming thing, I assume, because like, you see what it looks like. And again, I just get this feeling that the sound is so accurate for the image.
Yeah,
because like
it gives a feeling of being watched. And look at that eye. I mean, this Maligog guy looks like some kind of cyber Balrog. Cyber Cyclops Balrog with a reptilian eye.
Why do you always have to say cyber? There's nothing metallic about this guy. It's like a freaking actual dragon or something. I know what cyber. So, the soundtrack is always cyber, and that's because, look at the Doomslayer.
Yes.
That's where the cyber is coming from.
Okay, that was really cool. And then the riffs came in, and that was so rich dynamically, particularly because of the switch into ternary.
Yeah.
You know, the going, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That was such a cool dynamic. I love that, man.
What I really liked about how the riff hit is that it kept picking up, and I had this feeling that when it hits, it's kind of gonna explode. But like, instead it kind of went like all the frequencies kind of sunk, and it went into really low kind of money thing. And I think that's a bit. It felt almost ambush-like. And
yeah.
I think the only thing a thing this size, like this monster, could ambush you is not by taking you by surprise or exploding or anything, but by just like, I don't know, it's like it doesn't actually hit at an exact time. It just kind of, at some point, you're just kind of already in the battle, I guess. And it's almost like while the song is picking up, you're in the cutscene, and then the cutscene flows into the gameplay, but you don't realize when it happens, and then all of a sudden you die.
Yeah, that's kind
of the moment when the riff hit felt like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then after the riff this last week, we heard almost sounded kind of like tribal drums.
Yeah, that was.
I got that too, just to put that detail in there, and I think we're gonna go. I like this one.
Yes, me too.
This sounds like tribal drums.
I am so done.
This is my favorite from the Ancient Gods. This
Yes,
is so good. It's so freaking good, man. Okay. The breakdown.
Yeah, I think
It was that kind of breakdown that had like riff, and then when the cymbal hit comes, or snare hit, I don't really remember, the guitars are silenced.
Yeah,
that's so Slaughter to Prevail. I love that, man.
I don't think we've gotten like an actual proper breakdown in Doom soundtrack before. We've gotten like drops and stuff where it kind of goes down, but specifically this pacing of pure raw breakdown, we haven't gotten it before. It's just
Yeah, well, it's because kind of the Doom soundtrack as a habit is a concatenation of pseudo breakdowns.
Yes. I agree with that. But
so it's like, for once they dropped the pseudo.
Yes. They did an actual breakdown. Okay, you know what I really like about David Levy's stuff? This and Atlantica as well. Not so much on Imora, and I'm pretty sure the reason for that is because we didn't do the comma game. I love the tones.
Yeah.
The tones of the... I don't know what those synthetic melody instruments are. Is it synthesizer? Is it some wind instruments? Is it something electronic? I don't know what it is. But it's got such a full, epic sound. And kind of coated, like it's very, very refined, very advanced kind of sounding.
Yeah, and I think it's... No.
It feels kind of like it wraps all the riffage and stuff. And the whole thing then comes at you as a whole, I guess.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say also a thing that I see with Levy, which we saw in Atlantica, but not so much anymore, which I also suspect is because we did the wrong version, is that they're very evolutionary. Yeah. Like the songs pick up pace and volume as they go along, and this one got increasingly tricky towards the end, almost to Flesh and Metal sort of extents towards the end. Yeah. And I think it's like battle intensifying. You know, the beginning's like an introduction, then the monster shows up, and then the battle just keeps intensifying. And that's why it's dies. Yes. In this case, it's us.
Yeah, I fully get what you're saying with that. It has that effect, and it's also, I don't know though, Flesh and Metal is more like really, really unexpected. This did get unexpected and unpredictable and like volatile and all over the place, but it still had the really infectious groove and the pacing to it. And I think, at least with Flesh and Metal and Skull Hacker and whatever other stuff Mick was doing, his whole point was to not give you any pace anymore.
Yes.
So I wouldn't really put those aside, but it does go into the same level of complexity. More so similar, I would say, to the kind of progressive metal I like to listen to. Like, I don't know if this is an actual fair comparison musically, but if you take, for example, the album Virus by Haken, it's complex as F, but it has these drops and it has this groove and this flow to it that keeps you going all the time.
Yeah, that's actually a very valid comparison. Also because of the tones, I feel like the tones on that Take a Line of Blue are pretty similar to David Levy's tones here.
Yeah, it's a matter of, despite making it all sniffy face inducing, still keeping like a theme, a melody, I think, going on that gives it a lot more hook as well. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing. Another one of my favorite Doom sounds.
Yeah,
definitely, for sure. We gotta do more Levy. I love Levy. So if you enjoyed this reaction, we greatly appreciate the likes and shares, and if you want more, don't forget to subscribe with bells on.
Thank you very much for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed your stay, and we'd love to see you back at the Windmill very soon.
Corpses out.